Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Vision Pros. I'm your host and coach, Fletcher Ellingson. Today on the show, we've got Ginny Waller, and Ginny Waller is from Waller Consulting, also the brand that a lot of her clients refer to her as Capacity to Dream. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Fletcher. It's good to be here.
Yeah, Capacity to Dream. I like that. Tell me a little bit about what that means.
So when I first decided that I wanted to have the business, the idea that I really came to is that for nonprofits, what is our big mission? What's our big overall focus is that we want to get to a point where we're no longer needed in our world. And organizations, especially nonprofits, tend to work on a dime and try to do all the things. And I wanted to create a business that could help them build that capacity so that they were able to actually see their visions come to life and then be able to walk away and go do something else and save the world in another place.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea behind it was build capacity to dream the vision.
I like that. That's a neat goal. That's a neat vision. Hey, before we get into things much deeper, start me off with a win. What's something that's going well in your world, professionally or personally? And the reason we like to do this is we want to remind people there is plenty of good still occurring in the world, and what's right with the world is always available. What's wrong with the world is always available. It's where we put our focus. So lay it on us. What's going well?
Well, we have a lot of good things going on in both the nonprofit sector as well as my business. So with our business, we just launched what we call Upshift. It's our strategic framework around strategic planning, and it's pretty darn exciting. The idea is that strategic planning typically has been done in very much of a bubble. Like if you hire me and you make Post-its, we're going to go and we're going to talk to your staff, and we're going to talk to some of your financiers. We're going to talk to some individuals that care about your Post-its, maybe your vendors. And we're going to hear from a variety of people, but we're really going to be listening to you, right? Like the idea behind your business is where we want to take it for strategic planning. Well, in the nonprofit sector, it's not true because you work for the public and it's the community's organization. It's not your organization. So really, we have designed strategic planning so that it is focused on the client experience or the customer experience. And we listen to the customer and the client. It doesn't always get you what you want if you're the CEO of your nonprofit, but it's going to get what the community wants and what the community needs. And so that's really where we put our emphasis. So we just launched Upshift, and that Upshift is all about centering on the client voice and really being able to, and maybe the prospective client voice, those voices we haven't heard from before. Who are we not getting to that we need to understand why we're not getting to them? And so we've launched this. We've been doing it now for 10 years, but now we have it in a way that we can package it for clients who may even be on the smaller side and haven't before felt like strategic planning was in their reach. So that's been really exciting. In the nonprofit sector as a whole, what we're seeing is that organizations for the first time ever are willing to look at what they do really well and lean into that and then consolidate or figure out ways that they can partner at a really high strategic level with other organizations to do the other pieces. So you know how this works, Fletcher. A long time ago, nonprofits started picking up. Well, somebody needs to feed the community, and someone needs to house them, and someone needs to get their to take care of the other main needs that we need to do. And so they're doing all the things. And what we've really been trying to encourage for the past 5 years or so is to have organizations go after what they do really well, which may be feeding the homeless or feeding the hungry or the unhoused, and then having someone else handle other pieces that they do really well and leaning into that. And organizations are finally doing it. We're seeing actually community foundations across the country willing to fund this, and they're interested in having these conversations with organizations about the strategic partnerships, but also merger and acquisition, and seeing how that we can make ourselves bigger and better for mission and vision focus and without losing the impact. In fact, hopefully increasing impact and doing it with less money, because of course that's what we're dealing with.
Yeah. Neat. Yeah. Some really exciting things are happening, and you're seeing some, sounds like you're seeing momentum in the space. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, sometimes you need a little push, and a lot of the financial situation, especially with organizations that have been heavily government funded in the last, 30 years, even since inception, are now having to have these really hard conversations around who we are and where are we going, because we no longer have the funding that we had before. And that, that's an opportunity that has allowed itself to force people's hand at exploring maybe things they wouldn't have done before, or partnerships they would not have looked at before.
Yeah. Forcing the hand into different levels of collaboration. Yeah.
Yeah. And really exciting, because even partnerships that heretofore may not have even been on the table, that they would not have even partnered with, whether it's from the private sector or maybe a nonprofit that isn't actually not maybe necessarily value aligned, we can help them start to work with those organizations so that they are having those conversations that they weren't willing to have before. And that's pretty exciting for me, because when I go into a nonprofit, oftentimes there's so much cleanup that needs to be done. They're spread so thin, staff are really burned out. And the answer lies in all of these partnerships in the community that are also doing the work. They're just doing it in different ways. And how can we bring that together, be conveners, and really have a larger conversation to make a larger impact?
Yeah, you know what is abundantly clear as we're talking, and it's no surprise, because this, in my opinion, is how life always works. But creation is always occurring through language, right? So what you're really getting at is new conversations, because in conversations, in language, creation can occur. And what I heard you saying, in fact, you used the word people are needing to be willing, and the willingness is to have that, is to open their mind, expand their mind, and have a different conversation. And as a result, we can create newly. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I think that's really it. It's like people really thinking about ways to do things differently. Before there was money, so why do we have to do it differently? Let's keep doing it the same way we've been doing it all of this time. But now that there isn't any money, we really are going to have that conversation. How do we do this differently? And you know what? It might be better, and that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it could be better, right? Could be, it might look very different, but it could be more impactful.
Exactly.
There's a statement on your website that I really like. It says nonprofit is a tax status, not a business model. Talk to me about that.
So, I'm not sure how much familiarity you have with the nonprofit sector, Fletcher, but a lot of nonprofits believe very much in that charity mentality. Our clients are needy. We're needy. Everything we're gonna take your dollar and we're gonna squeeze every bit out of it, and we're gonna not pay our people, and we're gonna ask everybody for a cut and try not to spend anything to make the money. We're going to work really, really at this low level. And you and I both know, when you're building a business, you have to spend money. You have to invest in that business to build the capacity that you need. And oftentimes our clients adopt the same mentality as their clients that they're serving. And that is what I'm always trying to hit at, is you're a business. Like, you still have to function. And yes, you should make money. And when I hear a nonprofit say, oh, but we're a nonprofit, we don't need to make money. What? Do you want to be in business next year to help your people? Well, then yes, we need to make money. We're just going to put it back into the organization versus into your pocket. And so it's really thinking differently about what nonprofit means, and getting away from that charity mentality that really is pervasive. And that's why you get these. I always hear nonprofits say, we need a new marketing person, and we need a bus that takes people places. Well, you actually don't need. We have a mission, and your clients are the ones who need it. So let's figure out how we as a business can get them there, can support that.
Yeah. So good. Well said. Again, I can't help but to bring it back to language again. I think language matters, and the more accurate we are with it, like, instead of saying we need, like, how about we're creating?
Yeah.
We're creating a new transportation opportunity for our clients. We're creating a new department head. Really, because because we have an emotional reaction to the language that we use.
Yeah.
And it also, if we say that, then our mind begins to expect that that's going to happen. So I love what you're talking about, kind of reframing and re-educating some of the nonprofit mentality and busting some of those myths. Very good.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I always try to tell the clients is like, you have the solution to this societal problem. Like, that's amazing. You don't need, you have the solution for your clients, and they're the ones who need. So we just have to reframe that. So yeah, it really goes back to language and thinking differently, but it actually affects the entire culture of the organization.
Exactly.
I mean, it's going to infiltrate everything that they do from, top down if it's done right.
Yeah, exactly. It affects the culture of the organization. So, if you're watching this or listening to this and what she's saying is landing with you, then, really reach out to her, connect, see what they can offer, because what she's talking about is, and again, this goes back to your capacity to dream. Frequently when a nonprofit begins, it begins because there was a dream, there was a vision. And then what happens is business occurs, and we weren't equipped to run a business. But we had this, incredible and inspiring vision, and it's beautiful. But the business is a different component that most of us are not equipped for. So, Ginny and her business here are here to help you run more efficiently, run better, step into that capacity. And the thing that I really love that you said at the beginning of the show is you want to be able to help people do this so well that ultimately they can step away.
That's it.
Because that's like the ultimate, in my opinion, that's the ultimate success, the ultimate accomplishment. I set out to do this thing. It's now running well. I can go over here now and do what's next.
That's right. Yeah, because the people who go into nonprofit work, they are problem solvers who have a passion for trying to fix our world. I don't want you centered on one issue for the rest of your life. Like, let's get you spread out. Let's get you solving all of them. And there is such opportunity for that, but you get bogged down. I worked with an organization. I used to work in the interpersonal violence field a lot, and still do with my clients. And I would hear them say, but we're never going to be out of business. There's always going to be sexual violence, or there's always going to be domestic violence. And I'm like, that right there is the mentality that you have bogged into as a nonprofit. You have forgotten that you were created to offer a solution to a problem, prevention being one of those. And so if you're not believing that you're going to get to that vision, you're not. I mean, you're just not going to get there. And then we can't take you and put you into another project for prevention of something else because you're so good at solving that problem. I believe that firmly, like within my soul, that organizations really have to believe that that vision is attainable and they're there to fix it.
Yes.
Yeah. And again, language. I mean, when I hit that language again, it's all about like how they're saying it, how they're portraying it, and what they're there for. Otherwise, you're going to be in existence for another 100 years, and you're going to still be begging people for money to keep your lights on. And we're going to hear the same letters and the sob stories about how it's all bad and dark everywhere. And it's not, it can be avoided, and we can do better than that.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I think you said on your website, crisis averted.
Yes. Crisis averted. Don't have to live there. We don't have to live in the fire. That doesn't have to be that way. But I think that's just the mentality of a lot of nonprofits.
Yeah. So again, if you're somebody that's watching or listening to this and you are involved in a nonprofit, running a nonprofit, or just involved in it, you may experience this in your in the culture. And so if you feel like, gosh, we need a reboot, we need a reset, we need a shot in the arm, we need some new thinking, then you got to reach out to her. And what's the best way to connect with you?
Well, the best way is to go on my website. So Capacity to Dream, that's the place to go. You're going to get all kinds of resources. A lot of the preaching that I have done today, because I do love to bring people to church. They'll see a lot of that on my website as well, and a lot of free resources, because I think it takes us hearing things a few times, especially when they're hard truths, to be ready to actually take that next step of doing the thing and making the change. So there'll a lot of resources, a lot of places ways to get in touch with me there, as well as to get in touch with other folks that are doing the same work and live by the same mentality as I do in regards to what change can mean for the nonprofit world.
Cool. So, and the domain name again is
capacitytodream.com.
capacitytodream.com. Go there, check it out. It's a great website. It's really well put together. Lots of good information there. And yeah, reach out, start a conversation, and see what's possible. Ginny, so good to talk with you today. Is there anything else you'd like us to know before we wrap up?
Well, I think the last thing I would add is that nonprofits right now are experiencing a lot of change, right? We're losing money, large funders. We're losing our staff. CEOs, the C-suite, are moving out of the sector so fast that you wouldn't believe it. There's something like 40% turnover anticipated over the course of the last year and next year.
Wow.
So with that kind of change, you have an opportunity here to do it, right? This is when there's no leader at the helm that's specific, that's tied to anything. Go for it. And at Waller Consulting, we can assist with that to seize that opportunity and to take your organization to a whole nother level you never dreamed of.
Yeah. And so thank you for that. And I want to, again, spotlight something you just said. With the level of transition that's happening in the nonprofit sector right now, hear what she said. It might be unsettling, but this is an opportunity. So seize it. Love it. I love it. Thank you, Ginny, for being on the show today. It's time now for you all to get out there, be a source of kindness, be a source of contribution. You do have something to offer this world, and I believe in you.
Thank you for being here today. I'm really happy that you tuned in to Vision Pros Live. I'm looking forward to seeing your reactions as these episodes continue to move forward. This is going to get more and more fun. We'll have more and more engagement as well. We'll invite people to participate in the show. And thank you for giving us your time and attention. Have an excellent time building out your vision and becoming a Vision Pro yourself.